Hello, welcome to another video. As you can tell from the title, we are going to attempt, when I say we, I don't know why I said we, I am going to attempt to redesign Harry Styles' merch. Wow, great start. So yeah, I have on my screen, as you can see, a bunch of different images. On the right are images that I've found of Harry Styles himself. I've got some of his merch that already exists, sort of down here. I've got his album cover. I took some of the typography off his website so we can get an idea of that. And yeah, just some different things that I felt like represented him as an artist. Then on the left, I have what I would like to create, which kind of doesn't really make sense yet, but hopefully as you follow on this video, it will make sense. I have done quite a few of these videos, so I will leave a link to the playlist of them in the description and on screen. And if you aren't already subscribed, look at that well-placed little subscribe button. If you aren't already subscribed, please make sure you do, because I'd love to have you. Also, before we get started, Kel Lauren has also done a video like this, so I will leave that linked in the description. Okay, so I am going to attempt to create something colourful. I feel like his vibes are fun. I saw this image on Pinterest of the little man with the long legs, and it just reminded me of, obviously, the album art photo. So maybe I could do something like that. I'm thinking something like, is it Rizo or Rezo? This effect anyway, where you kind of mask layers on top of each other. It's like a really traditional, older way of printing. I've never experimented with it myself, but I love it when artists do. I wish that was something we learnt at uni, to be honest. So yeah, this is the vibe I'm going for, and I guess we'll just go. So first up, I'm gonna move this down here, and we're gonna make a new artboard. Now, I'm not going to go into detail on the techniques that I'm using, because that's a whole other video, but if you are wanting to learn Adobe Illustrator, I have got an online course which is always linked in my description, so you can kind of check that out if you want to. So I want to continue the theme of treat people with kindness, because I love that. I feel like it's such a good mantra. We're going to sort of take that and run with it. I'm going to do them all on separate lines, I think, so I've got room to play around with them. Alright, let's centre all of this off in the artboard for now. And I want some kind of, not blocky font, but bubble font like this. You can see that the letters are quite chunky. So I'm going to look for something along those lines, and I'm just going to adapt it. I don't want it to look completely different. I'm literally typing Harry Styles. That's not what I wanted to do. But, I mean, this is kind of cute. Maybe it's too rounded. Let's just continue looking. Let's copy you over here. But yeah, I want to have a nod to his existing style. I love this font. This is the Beanie MVB regular. Helps when I can talk. And I use this quite a lot. I like this a lot better than this. I feel like it looks a little bit more sleek. Let's find another one. Now I'm going to try and not to dwell on my designs for too long, because that's my biggest downfall. I spend that long looking at it, I end up hating it. I used to do it at uni all the time. A lot of my uni pals did the same thing, and you end up hating your own work. So we're going to try and avoid that by just going with it and trusting my instinct. So straight up, I don't like these bottom two. I think they're too chunky, they might be too hard to read, and I don't like you. So as predicted, we've gone with the one that I liked to start with. I like this style down here. I'll just zoom in so you can see, where the text has sort of been warped and then there's hearts around it. But I feel like this is quite plain, you know, the vibes I've got from Harry is that he's quite colourful, he's vibrant, he's not afraid to be who he is. I feel like that's the whole message of him and his album and stuff. So I feel like this can be done better. Please don't come for me, the Harry Styles team. If you are enjoying this video, don't forget to click the subscribe button and join my little creative family. Okay, cool. So we have this. I really liked this idea of overlaying something. So let's have a play around with that. I'm thinking, first up, I'm going to move the letters together. What I'm going to design is a beanie, a hoodie, and a t-shirt. Then I'm going to pick up, what colour are the back of the t-shirt? I want something that's quite wearable. I guess white, maybe a ringer tee we could do. We'll see. we can of course play with the colour combos. So I like this. I'm going to add some like texture to it of some sort. And then I could write Harry and Styles and maybe make it look sort of like in a signature font as if he's signed it. I might have to go on Adobe Fonts and find one. So I'm going to write Harry Styles in here, and I'm going to look for, I guess, cursive. I don't want it to be too fancy. I want it to be literally like he scribbled a signature down after a gig. Okay, I like this one, 6 hands. So I've gone with 6 hands brush. I think this one might be a little bit too crazy, but we'll put that on anyway. 6 hands chalk and 6 hands marker. These are too blocky. So let's see. 6 hands marker, too plain. Brush, I quite like. And chalk is far too chalky, who'd have thought? And we're going to put capital H, capital S, and I'm going to put it on top of this. And to start with, I'm going to do it in that blue shade, like is in the image on the left, because I think it works quite nicely. In fact, I want to change this, like I could squish it like that, or I could go into tracking, which is here, and change the tracking. So change like the width between the letters. And I'm going to put this in this blue. All right, so I've overlaid it, but it's sort of completely disappeared. So I'm just going to briefly lock the 2 layers where it says Harry Styles, just so I can get to the ones behind. And I'm thinking maybe like an orange. Well, maybe like a yellowy orange, I'm not sure. We'll pick up this yellow from on here to begin with. I feel like that's too much. I think the colour burn's too strong. Let's go back to the pink. See this tutorial down here, this Rezo thing. It says put red on top of yellow and do the hard light, and it kind of does that effect. Red on top of yellow, colour burn, and it does orange. So it sort of blends them together like you'd think like paints in a paint pan. So that is what I'm attempting to do. So we want to do colour burn, don't we? So I wonder if it's colour burn with both. Let's do colour burn on the pink too. See, no, I didn't think that would do anything. That's weird. See, I'm tempted to just take it back to normal. Ah, okay, so I'm layering it. So I basically have just copied and pasted it on top of each other. So this is the original. I'm going to click the Harry Styles text, copy and paste directly on top, and it's the layers. That's how Rezo works. Duh, why am I being stupid? So I feel like that is a bit too much. You can't read the treat people with kindness bit, so let's go with 2 layers like that. So that's one idea, I guess. I'm not going to overthink it too much. And now I want to do something with this thing. So like where he's doing the album art cover thing, I should probably go and find a large version of that image. So we've got a large image. I'm going to crop it, and I just want the coloured parts. And I was going to image trace, but I don't think that'll work because it is quite pixelated. This is just literally a screenshot off of its website. And I feel like that is the cheats way out. So in the same style of this, I'm just going to very, very roughly outline it. Let's just do some really rough pen tool lines. So thinking like this, change the fill, and I'm just going to outline this whole thing. Okay, I've outlined. So we've got like a weird stylized version. I'm going to fill the top in the pink. I'm going to fill the bottom in the white, pure white, and then I'll just put a background behind it for now so we can see what we're doing in the blue. Now this has the high chances of looking completely rubbish, but I'm going to continue. I'm going to trust my thoughts. I think I can get away with making the trousers bigger and more exaggerated. Okay, cool. I don't hate it. I feel like that should be my motto. I don't hate it, because I say that literally in every video. I'm gonna change the size of his head. and I actually don't hate it. Okay, I'm gonna do some fingers. So I've just drawn some strokes and I'm just gonna up the weight of them and cap the ends. I don't like this. I'm gonna curve this one, I think. So let's get the anchor point tool, curve that slightly and then curve the thumb. And then maybe just use the hand, or do the hand, should I say. My perfectionism is screaming at me right now. Oh, well, I have always been awful at drawing hands, so I might as well continue the trend. Let's go to Object, Path, Outline, Stroke. I want to merge all these layers together. And then what's his other hand doing? It's just like sort of on his waist, isn't it? So I'm going to quickly do this and then we'll start putting things together, hopefully. So I'm going to add some texture. I'm going to go onto Envato, which is also where I download like a lot of things from. I've downloaded the like mock-ups from there. This is not sponsored, I just love them a lot. So we're going to download some textures. I think I'm going to add some different textures onto here to sort of make it look worn down a little bit, sort of like this. You see where it's got like a papery texture to it, so it looks more Rezo, and this. So I'm gonna attempt that, but rather than bore you with me fumbling around and trying to figure this out, we'll fast forward and you can see it in like a minute. So, as you have seen, I've added some texture to the legs and the shirt, and I think it works quite well. I really like this one that had the lines in it because I feel like it looks like the sort of pleats in the trousers. And then I'm sort of layering them up. I found this pack from Envato, and in this, there's just loads of textures basically that are vectors, and I'm like overlaying them and turning them into clipping masks. So I think it's looking quite good. I changed the head to like a skin colour because I thought it looked a bit strange. But I mean, you can kind of get the vibe I'm going for. I'm just going to clipping mask the head part now. And then I'm going to move back to the text because I want to sort of add some texture to that as well too. So I've pasted in the texture. I'm going to make it bigger. I'm going to change it to the background colour just so I get an idea of what a clipping mask would look like. And you can see that it's like cut out little areas of the hand, so then I can move it around and pick which sort of bit I want. I'm going to select the hand, copy, paste it, and then bring it to the front so it's in front of everything, and then make sure that's selected, make sure the texture thing's selected, and then Command 7 to clipping mask it. You can see that we've created a little clipping mask there, and I'm going to move that back because it's currently in front of the arm. Okay, cool. So zooming out, it's got some texture to it, although I still think it's missing something. So I am going to temporarily group and lock these layers in front, just so I can get to the elements behind them without like disturbing anything. So I want just the pink part of the t-shirt. So if I drag it, you'll see that it's just taking the pink bit. So I'm just gonna experiment, I guess. I'm just gonna layer, copy and paste, and I'm gonna pick up like, let's go with purple. And then this is where we can add like different layers to it. So even just slightly like offsetting it, I guess, could create some cool effect. Or at least we're hoping so. Maybe I could like erase some of this. So if I go to the eraser, oh, I could do it like it's a shadow under his arm. and then erase over there. If I put these over here and line them back up, you can see that they've added like a little bit of a shadow, but I don't want it to be like perfect. I want to take the trousers, and again, I'll just turn it into the blue colour for now so I can see what I'm doing. And again, I'm just going to erase. I'll use the pen tool this time. So I'm going to erase down here like that, I guess. And pathfinder that to get rid of it. Bring that back over. And then I guess the overlay, change it. And then I want the colour. What about that? Okay, I'm going to leave that for now because I've been staring at it for too long. I'm going to add some sort of movement to this. So what I've done is I've just copied over the text from the left. I made it a bit smaller so I could see it, and I created outlines so it's no longer editable. I wanted to use the mesh tool, but for some reason it's not working. So we're going to use a different method. And for this, I'm going to go to Effect and Distort and Transform. And I'm just going to play around with these, I think. So twist, you can see in the preview, and it's sort of made the letters sort of start to wrap around each other. And then I'm just going to keep applying different effects, I think. So distort and transform. There's free distort, but there isn't actually many options you can do with this. It doesn't let you drag the middle, which is a bit annoying. But I guess you could play around with it. I don't know. Maybe do that. I'm going to keep playing with this. Now I know it's not like super legible, like it is kind of hard to read, but it's one of those things that like I feel like it doesn't scream like merch. It doesn't scream like I've just stuck a quote on my top. It's like, unless you knew, you wouldn't really know like what it was, which I quite like. I feel like that's a fun part of being like a little groupie, you know. I'm gonna go mock up this as a t-shirt. I'll do it in a few different colours so we can sort of see how it would look. I'm thinking like orange, but yeah, I'm gonna go mock them up. If you ever want to see me do a video of how I use mock-ups, let me know, because I've never really shown that. So as you've seen, I've mocked up a few different things. I'll talk through them properly in a second. But I moved on to the beanie, and I could have very easily just used the like treat people with kindness thing and just put it on the front of the hat. But I wanted to make sure I was mixing things up and not making everything completely the same. And also I really wanted to use this little icon thing. So as you probably saw briefly, I was like, I want to use it, but I didn't know how. So originally I just dragged in this original one on the left, and then I was like, I have an idea. This is one of those things that you can't plan for, it just kind of happens. So I copied it over twice and then changed the hue. I suppose I've done it the easy way, but I could do this properly and literally go in and change each colour so it doesn't look so funky. Like this hand is currently like a lime green colour, not feeling it, but you get where I'm going with it. So I really liked that, and I've also added a hard light overlay on it. So if I just take this off and put it back to normal, you can see that it's just block on top. Whereas to get like that Rezo effect, you can see that if I scroll over here, it changes. So yeah, I have it on hard light. And then this is sort of how it turned out. So this is sort of like a patch, which I feel like could be another thing you could make. An actual patch that people can buy and like iron onto their denim jackets or whatever. So you could like sort of use this for multiple things, or even like a little keyring, like just a rectangular plate keyring thing. So I'm thinking maybe like an orange background, or just keep it white. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna keep it white. I'm gonna actually change the height of these three. Cool. And then in here, again, this is from Envato, this mock-up file. You can change a lot of things, so I can change the colour of the hat. And especially, I guess, with this patch, it means you can have any colour hat and it's not going to affect it, like, whereas if I was embroidering it, you'd have to change the thread colour a lot. So yeah, if you wanted like a red hat, you could literally just do that. And then you could have like a whole array of different hat colours and then just buy the labels and then like manufacture it that way. I guess I'm thinking like I'm actually going to make these. I think it's because I run my own little like shop, Soul on Fire, and you have to think of the practicality of it. And obviously printing like artist merch is going to be expensive and they do it in bulk. So I guess they need it to be simple. I'm going to save that red one because I actually really like that. Do you see where I'm going with this? I feel like it could look quite cute. I mean, I might be completely wrong. It might be a Marmite thing. You know, I like that. So I guess now we look through and take a proper look at everything that I've designed. Okay, so the first t-shirt is this black ringer tee. So it has like the black collar and the black arms. And I love this pink and blue together. I'm very surprised because usually I end up changing things and not liking it. But this is literally the first colour combo that I came up with, as you know. And I really like that. I like that the sort of texture is coming through the letters and you either read the pink part or the blue part. I think the bit you read first is the pink bit, and then afterwards, like an afterthought is like, oh, it says Harry Styles underneath. So I'm really happy with this. And then I did some different colour combos. So we also have the yellow one, and I obviously could change the combos of this. So I've gone with like the yellow details around the t-shirt itself and then matched it with the yellow colour of the text. That's that one. And then the final one is like a red. So it'd be a red ringer tee, the orange text and the red like Harry Styles. Again, I feel like you could do this on a black shirt. There are endless combinations, but this would be like where you'd contact the artist and be like, yo, what colour combos do you want? So I'm gonna stop before I make this like a 3-hour long video. And then we have some hoodies. So I started with a black hoodie because I figured black hoodies are super popular. I know that's most likely the colour I'd want to buy. And again, you could mix it up with the 3 different colours of the like typography. But I went with yellow because I thought it stood out quite cool. And I like how like the green and the blue of the Harry Styles text shows up against the black. And again, you can change like the chords. I don't know, I was very happy with that. And then we have a yellow one, which I thought, this is definitely something that I wouldn't wear. This is a bit too loud for me, but when I looked at his existing merch, there is a yellow shirt there, and it's like a pale lemony yellow, and I thought it was actually really cute. So I thought we'd pair that with like the blue toggles, the blue Harry Styles, and the pink quote, and I thought this actually looked really cute. I mean, I'm blowing my own trumpet here, but if I'm not gonna, who else is? And then finally, obviously the beanie, which you've kind of briefly just seen. So this is the orange one. Again, I love the idea of this little icon thing. And then I did the red one too. Again, you could do black. I really like this icon. I feel like you could make like a pattern out of it, maybe. That would be fun. You could make a little enamel pin out of it. There's a lot of endless things I feel like I'm now thinking of. Now I've started putting it onto actual garments. So yeah, that is my attempt at redesigning Harry Styles merch. I hope you've enjoyed this. Let me know someone else's merch you want me to redesign. I'd love to have another go. And yeah, like I said, if you aren't already subscribed, please press that subscribe button. It's free. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, comment telling me what you'd like me to do next, and I'll see you next time for another video. Bye!